What's up, Nerfers? Today I'm borrowing a $450 fully CNC metal blaster made by Worker called the Taishan. Additionally, I'm going to be testing the Akasha Super BCAR on a sub 200 feet per second setup, as a lot of you have been requesting. So there's a bit of something for everyone in this video today. Now, there's a lot of CNC metal Nerf blasters out there these days. You've got my Saber Ultima with its massive 800mm barrel, but something that those high-end metal blasters usually target is high FPS players. That's where Worker have come in and made this absolute Lamborghini sports car of a blaster in a small, compact package targeting the lower FPS players. Now, I just want to say straight up, this blaster is designed for a very small selection of people. Hell, I'm actually only borrowing this for the day from Foamwork Adelaide. They do have some more of these available. I'll put a link down below in this nice purple color. But ultimately, this is for someone who plays below 200 feet per second, who wants something absolutely Gucci. So before you go typing down below, why does this thing exist? Not everything has to be about you. Although this does look externally very similar to a Seagull, it's actually quite different internally. Out of Darts has a great assembly video showing how to put this thing together. Go check that out if you want to see all the intricate differences. I'll also pop an affiliate link to Out of Darts down below. If you use that one, I get some money. Good way to support the channel. That said, I'll also pop a couple of other links. IFB in Singapore offering custom colors like this purple one for a little bit more at, I think it's $585 US. Now, compared to every other CNC metal blaster I own, sans a bullpup blaster, this is by far the shortest non-bullpup that I have. From tip to butt, without the Akasha on there, we're looking at 730mm, making it perfect for close quarters. And if you play below 200 FPS, why would you want to use anything longer when you can get away with this? As for build quality, as you'd expect from something fully metal, you could use this as a literal weapon of war. Take someone out with that. I think it would actually make a Nokia 3310 shudder in its boots. This is built that well. It's also right in that weight class where it's not too heavy to keep shouldered up all day. It's only 2 kilograms in weight, although it is fully metal. So I don't think you'd ever have to point it down because you get too tired. You can just keep it up the whole day. Up the front, if I remove the Akasha for now, we've got a 310mm barrel with a 16mm OD and a 12.8mm ID. It's your standard threaded Worker barrel, so you can swap it out for other ones. I am perfectly happy with the included barrel and the power that it's giving. Also up the front on both sides, you've got threaded holes for adding side Picatinny rail. When I borrowed this thing, I didn't grab the pick rails to show you, but there are 2 holes on either side, just like with the Seagull, for mounting cameras or flashlights, whatever you want to put on there. At the bottom, there's also obviously a pick rail for your front grip. I'm just using a basic vertical grip on there, but you could also use something angled or flat as well. Now, something I did as soon as I got this blaster, I sprayed some silicone gun oil inside of the priming area. And I've got to say, I have handled a lot of CNC metal blasters in my time, but I don't think any of them have as short of a prime as this one here. That prime length is only 70mm long, and I timed myself very roughly on a stopwatch, and I was getting something like 2 to 3 darts per second with no slam fire feature in this blaster. That is insanely quick. Something else you've probably noticed already is it has a return spring on the prime, so I can let go of this. It'll hold the breech closed even when I point the blaster up in the air, running around on the field. It's never going to come open on you and chamber a second dart. Now, putting in a mag I don't care about for a second here. Coming to the mag well, you've got ambi mag releases, one on each side, full ambi bro, as they used to say. What you don't have though, and what I don't like about this blaster, probably my one downside, is that with the breech closed, even though it has a skinny pusher in there, the mag doesn't gravity drop. You can do a kind of a forceful flick and it will go out. Took a couple of tries, but there we go. Or if I go grab that mag for a sec, probably the more common way that you'll remove a mag is you just hit that mag release and then pull the mag out. Pretty simple. It would be nice if it had the gravity drop though. Did I break that mag? Put my new favorite mag back in, the ZWQs that hold 18 shots. Just want to show you that you can actually overpower the mag release if you pull hard enough. I would not recommend doing that though, because it is shaving plastic off the mag release. Eventually it'll fail. So always hit that mag release when you do pull it out. Now, one of the nicer features of the Taishan, one of the features they've actually changed from the Worker Seagull, is they've gone from the straight pull trigger to a pivoting design. So if we prime this, it's actually a really nice trigger pull. So nice in fact that I couldn't stop fidgeting with this while I was writing the script for this video. It has the tiniest little bit of slack to take up, and from then on out it is a very light trigger until it fires. This, of course, being a very high-end blaster, has a full complete air seal. Can hold that as long as I like and then let all the air out of the barrel. Now, while I was zoomed up close doing the trigger test, I'm sure some of you were getting a full-length dart over the red sandalwood grip here. It feels just as nice as it looks, has actual carved indents in it to give you grip. There's even a little spot for your thumb or index finger to go at the top there. This is one of the most striking features of the blaster, and I absolutely love it. Coming to the back of the blaster now, you've got an M4 buffer tube to put your stock on. I believe it usually comes with a little low profile stock similar to the Seagull, but out of machined metal. Jay did not provide that for me when I borrowed this blaster off him, so I've just put a Navy style gel blaster airsoft stock on here instead. You've of course got different lengths you can adjust it to. Although this is a CQB blaster, having it fully extended is actually too long for me. I like having it actually almost all the way in. Just a second notch. It's a good length for me for CQB. Taking the stock off as well. At the back here, you've got an Allen key to access the spring. Just unscrew this silver piece all the way out and your spring pops out for quick spring changes. You could easily upgrade the FPS to around 250 with the right Worker spring, although I don't think it's really worth it. This blaster is more designed for that 200 FPS power level, and your prime is just gonna get heavier, and it's already really nice. I wouldn't want to make it heavier than that. You can also, of course, downgrade this, so maybe you're a HVZ player, 130 feet per second, or some kind of public super stock game with 150 instead. Lower springs, lower power with a Gucci blaster. Up the top, you've got a full-length metal Picatinny rail and two non-adjustable fiber optic sights that it comes with. Today I'm running one of Novrich's 1x red dot sights on there. It's going to be high enough to see over my run cam during the accuracy test. So we'll have to take that front sight off of there so the run cam can actually see what we're shooting at. Before we get to the accuracy though, let me go over some chronograph numbers. Worker 1 gram bamboo darts with no rifling attached average 216 feet per second with a standard deviation of 2.7. With Akasha attached, the average dropped by 6.9%, nice, down to 201. They also had a slightly worse standard deviation of 4.3 with that rifling on. Bamboo darts do tend to be a little less consistent though, once the rifling's on, due to the unpredictable interaction with the raised parts of the foam. Blue 2.0 darts, which are 20% heavier at 1.2 grams, average 203 feet per second, with a standard deviation slightly worse of 3.6. With Akasha on there, the average dropped by 7.8% down to 187, with a standard deviation of 5.5. Less consistent again, but these are also a bamboo style dart. Saber darts, which are even heavier at 1.3 grams, averaged 187 feet per second with a fucking incredible standard deviation of only 1.7. And with Akasha attached, something very interesting happened indeed. The standard deviation actually improved to 1.3. I think this is thanks to saber darts not being bamboo like the other two types. And they also only dropped by 6.4% down to a 175 average. Overall, all three dart types didn't lose much velocity despite going through both a P-car and a B-car. So now you know Akasha doesn't rob you of too much velocity when using it on lower FPS blasters. But how does it shoot for accuracy? Welcome to the 30 meter or 100 foot accuracy test. I'm trying out a brand new head cam today called the DJI Action 6, so hopefully it's getting some nice clear footage for you. I've worked out where I need to aim with the red dot sight is up at that gray piece of bark that I'm pointing my barrel at right now. Coincidentally, the same exact aiming spot that I used for my 50 meter test the other week. With the head cam, I'm filming in D-Log-M. I've applied the DJI LUT. Hopefully it's giving you good colors and good dynamic range. Shooting using this water-filled drum, nice and heavy, stable shooting surface with a sandbag on top. Gonna use the good old tried and true Worker bamboo darts first. They weigh 1 gram each. A little bit old at this point. Don't really use them for my gameplay footage anymore because they don't hold up with the accuracy compared to the other two things. Let's see how they do though. That's a hit. A little bit higher up. Somewhere in between. I would aim lower, there's just not really any spot for me to put the red dot. Plus, some of these are coming down to the center anyway. That's all 15. Swapping now, I really don't want to get these in the dirt. These are my new favorite mag, ZWQ. They have a drum spring, which is pretty neat. Anyway, blue 2.0 darts. These are a crowd favorite. Didn't do so well at 300 feet per second. Let's see how they do at sub 200. Good hit, good hit. Going a little lower down than the Worker darts did. Might end up having a better grouping though, we'll have to see. Right. Back to the center. That's all 15 of those. Now we swap to saber darts, 1.3 grams each, so 30% heavier than the Worker darts we started with. Let's see how they do. That's a hit. Just above center. I think that was just below center, hard to see. Bit higher. I do want to say all three of these have been pretty good for a sub 200 FPS dart though. Historically, like back when I used to test 180 FPS blasters, the groupings used to be like a meter high. This is far better than that. That's all 15 saber darts. let's take it inside and see which one did best. At a distance of 30 meters or 100 feet, and with Akasha rifling attached on the end of the barrel, the two losers were surprisingly both of the heavier types of darts. Blue 2.0 shot a spread 51 centimeters wide and 48 centimeters tall, while Saber darts had a skinnier 38 centimeters width, but they were taller at 67 centimeters. Both of these are pretty good, but let's forget about those for the entire rest of the video, because Worker 1 gram bamboos took an upset victory with an impressive 25 centimeter wide, 30 centimeter tall shot grouping. In fact, I believe this is actually the most accurate 30 meter spread I've ever shot with a low FPS blaster before. Usually with these sub 200 FPS blasters, the spread ends up much taller than this. My X-Shot piston pump, for example, takes up almost the entire height of the target, and even the world's most accurate pistol, supposedly, the Grain Rain, that thing's grouping was an entire meter high with Worker darts. So something about Akasha and these 1 gram Worker bamboos seems to pair incredibly nicely together at around the 200 FPS power level. While at the 300 FPS numbers and higher, Saber darts seem to be the better option by far. So there you have it, guys. This is the kind of accuracy you can get with a Worker Taishan or potentially any other 200 FPS blaster with Akasha and with Worker darts. I do think it's kind of fitting though that the Worker darts worked best in the Worker blaster. Maybe it's Worker's 12.8mm barrels versus the 13mm ones that I usually use for everything else. As for Taishan specifically, it was an absolute joy to shoot. Priming it for each shot has such a short prime distance that it's effortless to fire off heaps of shots out of this thing, and the return spring put my mind at ease of whether or not the breech was fully closed. I'm sad to have to hand the Taishan back to Foamwork Adelaide now, because I would have loved to use it in some gameplay, but at the same time I wouldn't want to potentially scratch someone else's $450 blaster. There's also no game on today, so I'd have to wait a further week. Feel free to take all the battling to the comments of this video of whether Taishan should exist or not. I think it should, even if it's not for most people. If you're part of the select few who plays below 200 FPS and you want something this high end, you can find it at all of the links down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and all of that. Here's 2 other videos you might enjoy. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.